it obligatory to believe? Why are certain things obligatory and others are not? And here, one of the great credits of Islam and civilization is the fact that obligatory beliefs must be muhkam. They must be utterly definitive, categorical. They must be qat'i. They cannot be conjectural. They cannot be sectarian. They cannot be matters that are beyond consensus. Things that are beyond consensus, particular views about, for example, attributes of creation or attributes of sensation, those cannot be obligatory because of the fact that they are not categorical. This is a great credit to us, and this is also very important for us as Muslims because of the fact that there is a basis to the faith which is absolutely indicated in the Quran and the Sunnah and reason, and that all Muslims are supposed to believe. That's a matter of consensus. And then there are tangents off of that, some of which may be as precious as diamonds, but they are not required, they're not categorical. And to introduce anything into the category of belief, of obligatory belief, which is not qat'i, which is not definitive, that is a major innovation. And often you will see that the issues that divide Muslims most bitterly are exactly of that nature. For example, anthropomorphic verses. The most merciful assumed the throne. So here we have different positions we take about that. Some literal interpretations would be out of the picture. But if you want to hold that as it is and not interpret it, that's all right. And if you want to interpret it validly, that's all right. But to insist on any of those positions would be innovation. To say that you cannot interpret this in any way, that would be an innovation. So I think that I've made myself clear. And that, as a principle of conduct for us, is very, very important because always in Islam there are certain things that are the basis of the faith that we all agree upon, and that must always be the basis upon which we function. I'd just like to say in ending that Arius of Alexandria, the great Christian theologian in our view, the great Christian theologian of the 3rd century and 4th century of the Christian period, his approach to the Bible was essentially Islamic, in that he believed in the Bible very much like the Bible we have today, but he insisted that belief in the church be only things that are definitive, and that anything that lends itself to interpretation regarding the sonship of Christ, for example, must be interpreted in a way that is valid with those principles. And in the Quran, when it says minhu ayatun muhkamatun hunna ummul kitab, of the book there are verses that are definitive. They are the foundation of the book. This, according to some scholars, was revealed about Trinitarian Christians who visited the Prophet in Medina from Najran, who were arguing for Trinitarian theology on the basis of the ambiguous verses of the Quran. And in fact, Arius of Alexandria, in his arguments with Athanasius and others, the proponents of the Trinity, this was his position always. The Bible is very clear that God is one, that He is pre-existent, that He has no likeness. And that's also our basis in the faith.
This concludes